Totally joking. Help. That was the international. We shouldn't joke about that. We shouldn't joke about that. Stop. So I'm gonna be.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Thurston, and this is 15 Minutes with Thurston. Today, I'm going to be interviewing my wife, and wham! Look at that.
Oh gosh, that's why you had it there. I was like, why are you holding the pillow so weirdly?
This is my favoriteest shirt I've ever gotten, and I don't care that favoriteest isn't a word. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about our the fact that we've been married for 1 year and almost 3 months.
And now we have, all the wisdom.
Yes. So if you've been married for longer than 5 years, listen up. All right.
Just kidding. We're totally joking.
We're just trying to find our voice, and this is our kitty. And so we're trying to find our voices and just have fun interviewing. So here we go. All right, so I have a couple questions I wanted to ask you, and if you think of any questions, feel free to ask me, because it's not just about interviewing you. All right, so when did you know you wanted to marry me?
That's a really sweet question. I would say that, when you... I don't know what to look at the camera, to look at you.
Just look at each other.
Okay, I would say that when you came and visited me in Colombia, I kind of started to imagine our life together. Mm-hmm. And then when I visited you in March of our second year of dating, I also started to see more of our future life together. Mm-hmm. And so I think those two moments really solidified it for me. So
cool. Yeah, that's great.
That's so fake.
No, I was trying to think of when the answer for myself.
Oh yeah. Do you know?
Yeah, I think for me it was once we were dating. So around the time I was about to graduate and I was decided, basically we were trying to figure out if I wanted to move to Colombia, and mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, it's getting pretty serious. I mean, I still had some concerns just because I was just trying to be cautious and careful, but didn't want to get my hopes up, I guess. But so I would say about a year in for sure. Mm-hmm. What's something you wish you knew about me before we got married?
I feel like I knew a lot about you beforehand because we did pre-marital counseling with 2 different people. So
very thorough.
So I feel like I wasn't surprised that you were messy, or you slept a lot, or
used to sleep a lot, but yeah, go ahead.
Or your family history. So I feel like when we got married, a lot of things were oh no, I knew you as a person. Because I feel like sometimes people, especially Christians, know each other for a year and then get married in that first year. Mm-hmm. And we've been dating 2 years before we got married? 2 years and some months, right? Yeah. So we knew a ton about each other, which I'm thankful for, because I think it makes the transition into being married much smoother when you know a lot about each other. That might seem like a duh statement, but I truly do believe that less surprises are always better. And I also feel for myself, something that I kind of started feeling when we started getting more serious, but definitely felt when we moved in together, when we were married, how much we would have to work as a unit with our finances, with chores, with household, I guess chores are household duties, but
really quick, we moved in together after we got married.
I did say that.
Yeah, but
I said that. And then and how much we would have to I would have to change the things that I wanted to do. I had to make sure it was okay with you, and vice versa, and just sharing a car together, all those things. Mm-hmm. we had to kind of move together as a unit, like the power of the royal we, but with us. So
The royal us. Yeah.
What do you think you would have liked to have known about me or about yourself before we got married?
I mean, kind of like you said, I feel like because we spent, like, we didn't live together, but we lived in another country together at the same time, and it was,
people described it as like putting us in like a pressure cooker because we had to navigate a culture together.
Yeah, and I feel like I got to know you pretty good because of that, and like something that I feel like people don't understand is like because we were long distance for so long, like we really had to communicate a lot more, and I felt like I got to get to know you pretty good because of that.
Well, yeah, because we didn't go on like in-person dates. Like we just FaceTime, so we just talked.
Literally talked for hours.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, but when you moved to Colombia while I was already there, it was really funny because we had like so many fights about the weekend and how we would spend our time together. Because you would want to like sleep in. And I would be like calling you up, being like, "Are you up? Let's do this about like the weekend." Like I wanted to go out and like do fun things, and you were just so exhausted from the week. You just wanted to like, let's just chill, let's just watch movies, let's just like, I don't know. It was just so funny. So I feel like those kind of like quote unquote fights helped us figure out like what it was going to be potentially like when we like moved in together when we were married, you know?
Yeah. Stop saying moved. Say got married. Stop saying moved in together.
I don't know. I just think of that like, I don't know. But that's, yeah, they just mean the same thing to my mind. But
yeah. Cool. All right, so what's your perfect day with me look like?
Sleeping in, you bring me breakfast in bed. Mm-hmm. You giving me a back rub.
Okay.
Going to the beach.
Okay.
Going to Chick-fil-A. I feel like we love going to Chick-fil-A together. It's so basic. I don't know, watching a good show with you is fun. Going to the city. I feel like I'm all over the place. Any days that I'm with you is a perfect day.
Okay.
It is. It's true. I just like spending time with you. You're my bestie for the restie. This is too cheesy. I could just hear my siblings being like,
well, don't hate us because you ain't us.
Okay, the biggest compliment that somebody gave us about our marriage, they were like, "You guys are gonna be married like for years. You guys are like."
They said forever, but yeah.
Forever, yeah. They're like, "You're gonna be married until you're old," and I just love that. She was like, sometimes couples like you can kind of tell when they just like don't really like each other, but she's like, "You guys like each other, and you can tell it." That made my day. I hope we give that off to people. I do like you.
I like you too. I love you.
I have a good question.
Okay.
Mi pregunta es... My question is, what do you think is a
Solamente
habit?
en español, por favor.
Ay, ay, ay. Mi pregunta es, ¿qué es el más importante practice? No, I would say práctica más importante que es importante por nuestro, how do you say marriage? Boda? No, that's wedding. Anyways.
What's the most important practice?
Yeah, practice for our marriage.
Okay.
Like, what do you think is a good practice that keeps our marriage healthy and flourishing? What?
Nothing. I would say I really like praying with you when we like pray together, and I think I also think that we've been reading the Bible together pretty frequently. We're on what day, like 52, 53, something like that. Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
I think
Wow.
prayer and reading the Bible together, and also, but yeah, that's my answer.
I would say, well, all of those things that you said are obviously good. I would say that what we started doing this month, we saw this other couple who like had a meeting at the end of each month with all these questions about like what did you how did you feel loved this month? What can I do better this month? What was bugging you? It didn't necessarily have to be about your marriage, like what was bugging you in your marriage. It could be just about life in general. And it had like 10 or so questions, and then also talked about like what what are you going to do in the next month? And so it was kind of like a monthly recap of your marriage, of your life, and it just was a good. It bored you. It bored you.
No, no.
No. Oh.
No.
Was
Great.
it good?
It
No, be serious for reals.
Okay, I'm being serious. I like
Okay. Yeah, and I felt like it was a good touch point and made us be more intentional. I think Thurston.
I'm looking at the camera.
But you're doing like this, which means like you're bored with it.
No, I'm not.
Remember when we weren't even engaged yet. We read that book by Paul Tripp.
What did you expect?
And it talked about like always building into your marriage because it's like a garden. You have to like I can't think of any gardening metaphors. You have to take out the weeds. You have to be planting. You have to be diligent about watering it, etc., fertilizing it. Crack myself up.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, so yeah. Anyways, it was a good thing for that. I lost my train of thought.
I liked it too. How does it feel to be married to somebody who wants to pursue like the arts?
See this eye twitching right here. Oh goodness, I feel like that's the hardest part of our marriage because they always say that. Can you stop yawning whenever I talk?
Go on.
I would say that that's probably the hardest part of our marriage, just because they always say that money is like the hardest part, and so your passions are directly tied to like our finances, and so that's definitely been a struggle of our year 2 of marriage. Hopefully, we can have some testimonies. Hallelujah! Remember that video that we watched? Hallelujah!
Hallelujah! Yeah, that was really fun. I almost choked.
So hopefully that could be a testimony of our year 2 that we have more things figured out.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like year 1, like, you can always say, like, it's year 1 figuring it out. But if you're starting to say that, well, if you're saying that by, like, the 3rd year, then some things are wrong.
Yeah, I think you're always figuring it out in a different way, though.
That's
because
true.
Things are constantly changing, you know?
Yeah.
And, so. But yeah, it's stressful for me, too, because I would like to know, where the gigs are coming and the opportunities to perform and things like that, and for you to know that that is so ghetto and to know I've had this jar of Vaseline for God knows how long. It's been a couple years.
You don't put it on your lips?
So yeah, that's the hardest part for me too.
The Vaseline?
No, stop. So as most of you know, I lost a tooth.
This has to do with our marriage?
I'm just wondering what it was like to.
That was not what you wrote down.
To be with a guy that.
Oh my gosh!
Lost his tooth.
Sometimes during fights, I couldn't take you seriously because you looked so ridiculous.
I don't think anybody understood what you said.
Translate for them.
She said sometimes during fights she couldn't take me seriously because I looked ridiculous.
You just will look so goofy. You like.
Oh.
He's totally joking, folks. He's totally joking.
Help.
international. We shouldn't joke about that. We shouldn't joke about that. Stop. So I'm gonna pee.
Well, the bathroom's right there.
No.
Yeah, so.
Okay, what else?
Is there anything else you wanna?
I feel like we covered it. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, we.
Highs, the lows, the buffaloes. Where was the buffalo of our first year of marriage?
I don't know what that means.
You just looked so annoyed with me.
I
Like the buffalo is like the weirdness. What was something weird about our first year of marriage?
She wanted to go to New Orleans for
I
some
knew
reason.
you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say New Orleans.
Okay, and I thought it was the randomest thing.
I always wanted
no
to go.
No disrespect to anybody from Louisiana or New Orleans, but
I always wanted to go.
I'd never ever had. I mean, when I was young, I had a desire to go there, like because my mom and sister went, and they said it was amazing, but. Yeah, I did not enjoy it.
So that was the buffalo of our first year of marriage?
I couldn't sleep while we were there.
Oh, gosh. I feel like the buffalo was all those road trips. We did so many road trips together. Not anything like crazy, but we did lots of road trips. It did not look like that. And so I feel like we had a lot of good talks on road trips. We found out we talk more when we're in the car together, and also when we're on something about walking for us. You do motions every single time.
Are you milking?
Stop. Wait, we should play that game, that movement game where it's like.